Hello, it gives me great pleasure to say that on 17 June, WTO members delivered an outcome on fisheries subsidies at MC12. Ministers have adopted a multilateral agreement to curb harmful fisheries subsidies. It wasn't easy, it took a lot of time and a lot of effort. But thanks to the tireless efforts of WTO members and the numerous friends of fish in NGOs and civil society, everyone came together for a common good. This is a historic moment. For the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, it means meeting our SDG 14.6 target with a new agreement that prohibits the worst forms of fisheries subsidies. This is also a very big achievement for the WTO. It is our first multilateral agreement that addresses sustainability in its core, and a clear example that we can negotiate ambitious multilateral outcomes. And above all, this is a huge leap forward in preserving our oceans and reversing the depressing decline in fish stocks that threatens the ocean environment and the communities that depend on fishing for food and livelihoods. Ministers delivered a substantive outcome. In addition to the strong disciplines that will curb subsidies that contribute to IUU fishing, to fishing in the unregulated high seas, and to fishing overfished stocks, the WTO will establish a Fisheries Subsidies Committee where we can assess and discuss the implementation of the agreement, including on the notification requirements that will greatly improve the collection of data on fisheries, on subsidies, and on vessels or operators caught fishing illegally. The agreement will also establish a funding mechanism for providing technical assistance and capacity building, specifically to help developing members and LDC members implement the new rules and to help them improve their fisheries management. Also, ministers gave us an additional mandate to keep negotiating. We will thus have a second wave of negotiations with a view to enhancing the new rules to further discipline subsidies that contribute to overcapacity and overfishing. These are all tremendous achievements. But in order to make these new rules work, WTO members need to ratify the agreement. I strongly encourage members to do so quickly, so that the new rules can enter into force, protecting our fish and the livelihoods of those who depend on them. So as we celebrate and look towards rapid implementation, I would personally like to thank the WTO members for entrusting me as chair of these negotiations, and now for finally delivering such an important agreement. It's been over 20 years of negotiations and some missed deadlines. So as I've mentioned before, this was like a debt we had to the global community. Today, I'm happy to report that the debt has been paid in full. Thank you to all members of the WTO, and congratulations.